Hey, Grand Rising, everybody. Thanks for jumping on. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Today we do our best to come on and engage with our customers and our followers and answer questions about what we do and how we can actually help you. So this is the Blank Spot. We are a sublimation blanks and t-shirt transfer supplier located just outside of Columbia, South Carolina. And today is FAQ, Frequently Asked Questions Friday. So if it sounds windy, then you may want to change the station because I got my fans on, and that's just how it's gonna be. So anybody else, can y'all hear me okay? I may be able to turn it down, but I can't turn it off because I'm in the warehouse and it's hot. Can you hear me okay though? All right. So um thanks for checking in. Appreciate you. Thank you, Darlene. Appreciate it. Okay, so frequently asked questions Friday. We're getting ready for an event. Getting ready for an event on tomorrow in Charleston. It is the Jerk Fest. So got some fans I got to do, but while I'm doing that, I'm going to be answering questions, and no question is really off limits. I may not answer it, but no question is really off limits. What we do, like I said, on Fridays, we try to come on and engage with our followers to answer any questions that you may have about what we do. Once again, we are a sublimation blanks and t-shirt transfer supplier. What does that mean and what does it look like? Sublimation blanks, sublimation, t-shirts, drinkware, bags, all types of apparel. And then the transfers. We have sublimation transfers. We also have screen print, both full color and single color. And then we also have rhinestone and chenille patches that we have available. So go ahead and shoot your shot, ask a question. I'm going to be subbing some fans right now. If you guys are brand new to the platform, if it's your first time here, type a number one in the comments. If you've been here before, welcome back. I appreciate it. And we're going to go ahead and get started. We had a full week. We had a full week this week. I think I went live every day this week, and it's very challenging for us. It's very challenging for us to keep that consistency, especially when we have a business to run. We're not content creators, but we create content for our business. And I noticed, thanks for the gifts, I appreciate it. I noticed when we don't go live, and this is probably a lot of small businesses, when we don't go live until you get to a certain level in your business, when you don't go live, customers really don't know that you're there. Okay. So how much are our screen print transfers? Our screen print transfers, you can find the pricing on the website, but they start at $1.75 on the single color side. Thank you, Latrice. I appreciate it. So single color screen print transfers are 25% off every day. On Thursdays, we have a special, but you got to catch that on Thursdays. But right now, you can catch the single color screen print transfers for $1.75. I don't know how much the full colors are. Got to go and check them out. But the website is theblankspot.com, and you can go on there and you can go and search the single color. You can search screen print transfers, okay? But definitely go check out the website. Don't hesitate. I know for a lot of people, it's easier to ask questions like that, but don't waste your questions on asking how much something costs. Ask for the information, and if you can't find information to get to us, then ask your question. But hey, don't if you see if I saw somebody that has some information that I wanted, I'm not gonna ask them a question about where they got their watch from. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna ask them how did they get where they are right now, and how can they help me get there. That's what I'm asking. But anyway, frequently asked questions Friday, y'all. Check it out. So you're gonna see me moving around. All right, you're gonna see me move around because I still have to get stuff done as well as be on here
and do this content. Once again, we are not content creators, guys. We're not content creators. I'm very ignorant when it comes to creating content, but I do create content for our business. That's to keep our customers and our followers abreast of what's going on. Like I said, I found out that when we're not on here going live, people almost forget that you have a business. It's crazy, right? Like a commercial. That's what it is, right? It's like a commercial. People advertise their businesses just so people can, make sure they know that you're still there. This okay. Darlene says, what's the difference between screen print transfers versus DTF? What would you recommend for someone starting their business? Okay, so every transfer process, and that's a great question. And I'm gonna see if I can break this down for you and not talk over your head. Every transfer process uses a different type of ink, okay? And the way that the DTF transfers are made, it's a little bit different. DTF, so the regular screen print transfers, the single color screen print transfers, I want you to think about the old school screens, right? A lot of you guys probably did some shop classes. You did some printing in shop classes, and you had the old screen, and you put that. They burned the screen. They burned the image to the screen, and they took that image after they burned it and they let it set and cure and everything. Then they took that image and they put it on top of whatever fabric they were going to use. They used the screen print ink and they scraped it across that screen. Okay. Now they now make the transfers where anybody can actually use the transfer, and the transfer screen print transfer is nothing more than just a paper backing. Okay. It's a paper backing, a certain type of ink, and they actually cure it or bake it. Now, the DTF transfers are printed on a film, not paper, but a film, and it's a clear film. And the clear film, as I understand it, that this DTF ink is a certain type of ink. They use the ink, the CMYK, right? CMYK, that's cyan, black, magenta, and yellow, and then they also use a white ink that's going to be used for the adhesive. Okay. And the difference is, and you got to use the powder to cure it to make the adhesive go. I don't think you probably want to know all that. The difference is they press differently. Okay. They press differently. People who like DTF transfers are going to drive you towards DTF transfers. People who like screen print, they're going to drive you towards screen print. The best thing, if you're just getting started, is to, if you're not using full color transfers, is to probably use a screen print transfer. Okay, they're single color. You can get them for low cost. Okay, and they're not hard to apply. DTF comes into effect or comes into play when people want a full color design on a dark shirt or a colored shirt, something other than white. Let's say somebody wants a a picture or an image of themselves. They want to do a memorial, or they want to do a graduation image or picture of themselves, or maybe they want to do something that's full color logo. It's going to be less expensive for them to create the DTF logo or transfer in the DTF format because they don't have to burn that screen. For every screen on screen print, you have to burn that color. For every screen, you have to burn that color. So DTF and screen print, they're going to be different in the sense of how they are applied, and it's going to be different in the sense of how long it lasts. Now, there's going to be some DTF people out there who stand by what they do, and they're going to tell me that I'm lying, but I want you guys to do your own homework, your due diligence. Go and do your homework. Google which one lasts longer, DTF or screen print. Screen print is going to be pretty much the normal transfer that you get when you go to Wally World or Target and get a shirt off the rack. That's going to normally be the screen print transfers. Okay. And they last pretty long. DTF, that's why you see people stretching the transfer, because they know that they're going to stretch the shirt, they're going to wash the shirt, they're going to do all types of things, and they want to make sure that that transfer has some type of elasticity so it can actually stretch and move with that shirt as that shirt stretches. So you don't want that, that shirt you don't want that transfer not to be able to stretch with that shirt. So recommendation, I went around the long way, but recommendation, if you're just getting started, it's going to be less expensive, more cost effective if you're using screen print transfers if you're getting started. But you may need a DTF transfer if you have an order for a full color transfer. So it depends on what you're going to be doing. Grand Rise and Aretha, thanks for jumping on. Felicia, thanks for jumping on. Drop your city and state, guys. This is the Blank Spot. We are a sublimation blanks and t-shirt transfer supplier. It's Frequently Asked Questions Friday, FAQ Friday. I'm going to do my best to explain. Anything that you ask. If I don't know, I'm not going to make it up. I ain't going to know. Nothing's off limits. Everything is up for grabs. Nothing's off limits. So ask your questions, ask away. While you're doing that, like I said, I'm going to be pressing some fans. We don't provide DTFs, though, so you know. We provide screen print and full color screen print transfers. Columbus, Georgia, Dallas, Texas. Thanks for jumping on. Anybody else want to share their city and their state? Drop it. So like I said, we've been on, I think I was on all every day this week. Broadcasting every day this week. And I can tell the difference when we're on every day. I can tell the difference. Greensboro, North Carolina, because people tend to gravitate towards our content. I can tell the difference because Louisiana, people tend to like and share and all that good stuff. But when we take a break, I notice that too. So, if you are a business owner and you have some time and you're using social media for your business, take some time, post some items about what you're doing, share some of your work. If you're selling it, I recommend that you don't show the full process unless that's your business model. For example, it's not gonna affect me if I show you how to press the fan from start to finish, because we sell the fans blank. And our goal is to get you as comfortable as possible to want to buy our fans and make them and sell them, or whatever you want to do. We don't care. But if you are a crafter, a creator, designer, and you're trying to do this for a business, a side hustle, whatever, if you're not a teacher, and this is going to hit somebody probably the wrong way, but however it hits, that's how it falls. If you're not teaching, if you're not an educator, if that's not your business model, if that's not your thing, you don't need to be teaching. Okay? You don't need to be teaching, because everybody can't teach. I mean, of course, everybody can share, but even as you share information, sometimes you share things incorrectly or not as clear or as concise as the person who has been trained to do that. So something you need to think about. I know a lot of crafters out there. Y'all stand by what y'all believe in. Y'all gonna share. Y'all gonna share when you think nobody else is sharing, and there's nothing wrong with that until it is. Someone asked me on a post the other day. They purchased one of these fans from us, and I don't know why it is, but we can never get people on our lives or watching our content when they need to. But someone bought a fan, and they commented, and this is how I know people are not serious. This is just me. I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm getting older. They commented on the post instead of emailing us. That's how I know folks ain't serious. So now it's more convenient for you to comment on a social media post or ask a question on a social media post if you want an answer than it is for you to email. But she asked, what were the measurements for the fan? Hey, Pandora, how you doing? Thanks for jumping on. Drizzy out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. She asked, what was the measurements for the fan? What are my measurements? It's not going to do you any good if I tell you what my measurements are. You may think it is, but it won't. And that's one of the biggest issues that crafters have, because they think that they're helping. And then right after that, a couple of days after that, another young lady came on, and she said, hey, this is what I use, and these are my measurements, and yada, yada, yada. You're not helping. Ryan, what's going on? Thanks for jumping on. If you don't know the measurements, then it's going to be to your benefit to get you a fabric ruler. Get a fabric ruler. For example, these fans, remove the fan from the plastic. They call it ribs. Press it out like I just did. And that's what I told the young lady. And then measure your fan. But me telling you my measurements, we don't measure the same way. I'm gonna have some extra space because I don't like to have my measurements exact. We have a large format printer. She was not using a large format printer. So things may be different for her. She may not be able to do what I'm doing. So I just wanted to say that, not that it reached the people that it needed to reach, but it reached whoever was on here. I just wanted to say that when you're sharing measurements, it's not a good idea because now what you're doing is you're crippling the person. You're crippling the person that should be actually doing the work and should be learning how to do it. Okay? So today is Frequently Asked Questions Friday. That's my little spiel on that. Today is Frequently Asked Questions Friday. And ask away. I'm pressing some fans for tomorrow. For tomorrow's event in Charleston, South Carolina. It is the Jerk Fest. It's going to be in Charleston at the Navy Yard, I think Building 64 or something. But if you go on Facebook and search Jerk Fest, Charleston Jerk Fest, you'll find it. So if you guys are close to that area, if you're in that vicinity, don't hesitate to come and check us out. Okay? Don't hesitate to come and check us out. Questions about our business, about sublimation. Someone asked what was the best transfers to get started with. I think it's screen print if you're going to be selling shirts. That's just my professional opinion because it's easier to do. They're just easier. It's also going to depend on what type of service you're going to be offering as well. Type a number 2 in the comments if you do custom work. That's probably going to be everybody. If you make custom items and personalized items, type a number 2 in the comments. Probably going to be everybody though. So if you're making custom or personalized items, you're going to probably run across a customer that wants something done on a shirt that's going to be more than just words. They're going to want something done on some apparel that's going to be more than just words. And if they want pictures and images, then like I said, depending on how many you're putting out there, DTF might be your best bet. Let me see. Are sublimation breathable on shirts? So I think you're asking. So sublimation is embedded in the fabric. So if you look at this shirt that I have on right now, this is 100% polyester shirt. It is breathable. It has a cotton feel. But if you run your fingers across my shirt, you won't be able to feel the design. Screen print, no matter what, you're going to be able to feel that design. Okay? So yes, it is breathable. That's another thing that you want to think about when you're doing DTF. People make these designs and they use these big blocks. They do it with vinyl too. And now you just got a big billboard on your chest. That's not breathable. Anybody have any events going on this weekend? Whether you are attending some or whether you're participating in any? Summertime, man. Y'all got to be hitting those educators up. They're going to be going back to school here pretty soon. What do y'all have for them? Let me see. You can't stand the big blocks. I can't either. Um, I'm not gonna say it's coming back in style. I'm just gonna say that a lot of people, a lot of people who can't design or think that is unique, they're kind of forcing it. I mean, to each his own. If you're not a designer like me, I'm not a designer, then I'm not gonna mess with it. I would much rather buy. I would much rather purchase a design than mess it up. That's just me. But some people they just think that they can design. Hey Steve, how you doing? Thanks for jumping on. You need some ideas for teachers? Go to the website. Go to the website. Make it simple though, Latrice. Don't overthink it. Think about this. Teachers are going back to school. They've been off all summer. They're back in classroom. Those are some phrases right there. Do you make fans for sororities and fraternities? We do have some designs on our website already. We have some generic designs already for those sororities. I haven't had any requests for fraternities yet, though. But we do have some designs for sororities. If you go on our website, theblankspot.com, go on the front page, scroll down till you see fans, click on it, and then you can actually see the designs that we have. You're welcome. Aretha said vending at a bike fest in Durham, North Carolina. Bull City Riders. Okay, that's what's up. Hope you do well. We're gonna be in Winston-Salem, North Carolina next weekend. The whole weekend. We're gonna hang out with the foodie fest. So if you are in the area, come check us out. Winston-Salem, that's gonna be next weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But yeah, teachers are going back to school, man. So I mean, think about it. It's a great time. It's a great time now. Just like the kids are going back to school, it's a great time now to reach out to those teachers and start getting them some back to school gear. Whether you're doing shirts, whether you're doing some blazers, some lightweight blazers, because it's gonna be summertime. It's gonna still be hot, but doing some lightweight blazers or jackets. That's the one good thing about the screen print transfers, man. They work well on all fabrics. Can't say the same thing about DTF. I had a lady a while back come in asking about she had like a nylon jacket. She had a nylon jacket and she put a DTF transfer on it. And I think it would have worked, but I think the way that she applied it, she didn't apply it properly, and it was probably too hot for the type of fabric, But it was nylon, and I think it was like a light gray. But you can't every transfer is not going to work for every fabric. That's something else that I think a lot of crafters are going to have to understand. Every transfer is not going to work for every fabric. So when you're trying to make a one size fits all, that's going to always be a problem. Teachers love tumblers and tote bags. Yep. I think, I don't know what they're doing with all them tumblers, but for some reason, tumblers are never going to go out of style. But check this out. Instead of doing a regular tumbler, try looking for a different type of glassware or a different type of drinkware. Mix it up a little bit. Give them something that they can, that they can kind of make their own. Let's see. So we provide screen print, sublimation, rhinestone, and Chenille Patches. Once again, you can go to our website. It is theblankspot.com, and you can see all of the transfers that we provide. Okay. So another thing that I noticed. This is another thing that I noticed, and don't get upset with me, man. Please don't get upset with me. I see a lot of people. I see a lot of people in the beginning, as someone said, they're just getting started. I see a lot of people in the beginning trying to be very, I guess, unique, trying to be unique, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you got to think about it. You got to ask yourself: Am I selling shirts? I guess the question you got to ask yourself: What are you going to be offering? Are you offering custom specifically, personalization specifically, or are you looking to be a t-shirt maker? It's different. Me personally, I would much rather make a whole bunch of the same shirts. I'd rather take on an order that's 50, 100, 200 shirts of the same shirts than to have 10 people come to me with custom items. That's just me. Oh, I want to show y'all this. This is is it Trinidad? Yeah, Trinidad flag. These transfers are on our website. Yeah, that's just me. But to each his own. I think one of the biggest issues is thanks, Steve. I appreciate it, man. You always gifting us some change. I appreciate it. I think the biggest issue is that when you decide to go from being a crafter to side hustle, making money or business, I think a lot of times people don't let the crafting part go or the mindset go. I can say that I can say that very confidently because I was never a crafter. I've never been a crafter. I've always been a business owner. My wife was a crafter, but I slid into this opportunity with the education and the knowledge of we're going to use this as a business. Crafting is not a business. Creating is. Crafting is a hobby. Creating is a business. I'll be doing my first vendor event on August the 2nd, selling shirts, mugs, and a few other things. Okay, well, congratulations. And a lot of people going to not understand or maybe disagree with what I'm saying. But when you start talking about inventory, when you start talking about overhead, when you start talking about um, dotting your I's, crossing your T's, you start talking about, hey, I need to get a designer, I need to do X, Y, Z. When you start talking about these things, you are now operating as a business. Something to think about. And unfortunately, you have not shifted your mindset in the thinking department about how you're conducting your business, and you're not changing the people that you're hanging around. Let me ask y'all something. Type into the comments how many crafting groups are you guys currently a part of? Type the number in the comments, please, and thank you. I'm gonna share something with you. I'm gonna show you something. I got a zero over there. 5. Anybody else want to share? I got 2 people share. How many crafting groups are you a part of right now? Got another zero. I ain't saying you shouldn't be a part of any. But I'm gonna make my point here in a minute. One, Steve said when I started all of them, but none now. Pay for designs. Well, the crafting group, that's not what I'm talking about when I say a part of a crafting group. It's not about doing designs. So watch this. Now I'm gonna hit y'all with this. If you're a crafter, get in as many groups as you can. Get in as many groups as your brain gonna allow you to process. But if you're a business owner, or if you're trying to turn what you're doing into a business, you may want to start focusing your attention on some business groups as well. Because crafters are crafting. Crafters think differently than business. You don't have to believe me. It's a whole different mindset when you crafting versus when you're a business. Getting in crafting groups and maybe say I'm in there so I can get some ideas, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But if you're running a business, or if you're trying to run a business and you saying, man, I'm a part of all these crafting groups, and you wonder why you're not growing or experiencing the growth that you want to experience, that could be why. That could be why. Is anybody getting what I'm saying? So today is frequently asked questions Friday. Like I said, come on here, or do our best to come on here on Fridays. After we have pushed our business all week long, and we still pushing it. You can still go to the website and make a purchase. But after we pushed our business all week long, now we want to get with our followers and our customers and say, hey, you guys had some questions while I was talking about whatever I was talking about. I was focused on that. Now I'm focused on you and addressing your question. So if you got any questions, now's the time to ask. Nothing's off limits. I may not answer it, but nothing's off limits. Don't worry, I'm not going to crash out if you ask me a question. See, definitely have to have you have to differentiate a hobby from a business. Yes, you're correct. Yeah, I mean, it's really not rocket science. Nothing that I'm saying is rocket science. It's about changing your behavior. See, crafting is relaxing. I can imagine it's relaxing. I can imagine crafting being fun. I can imagine it because there's really no rules to crafting. Because crafting involves a lot of creativity, right? But when it comes to business, it's different. See, business says that I got to know what my expenses are. I got to know what my overhead is. Business says that, hey, I can't just sell something and jump up and down and get excited when I make a sale. That sale has to equal a profit. And if that sale don't equal a profit, then I lost money. That's one of the biggest issues I see as it pertains to crafters and crafting. Because a lot of crafters don't know they don't know how to price the items. Sharing information. When you're crafting, when you're crafting, sharing information, especially in the community, is cool. But how many times have you heard people say they went to a crafting group and they shared their idea or shared a design, and somebody took it and started making money from it? And you were actually in a business. You were conducting a business. You were in a crafting group among all your crafting buddies, and the person that was in charge of the group said, hey, share some of your work. You didn't put a watermark on it. You didn't do anything to try to protect it. And next thing you know, you saw your stuff out there in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Your stuff out there in the streets. Why pre-press with the little iron and not the big press? I could do either or. It's going to be quicker for me. Everybody's going to figure out their own way of doing things. Sometimes I do it with the big press. Sometimes I do it with the little press. I'm sitting here kicking it with y'all, so I'm doing it with the little press. But when I take the fan off of the ribs, there's still adhesive. I have to be able to lay it down. So if I press it with the big press, 9 times out of 10, I may have to come back and press it anyway. So that's why. Let me see. But let's not forget the struggle must be strong because ups and downs are crazy. Yeah, absolutely. Same thing with a job though. You're right, but it's the same thing with a job. The struggles in a job is up and down. You got to go out there and deal with them personalities. Your managers, your supervisors, people that the team leads, people that you don't like, and the ones that don't like you. Just dropped the gem about doing one design versus 10 people. Yeah. So think about that. You know, it is a challenge. It's gonna always be life is gonna be a challenge. It ain't supposed to be easy, man. And I think that a lot of people they get that bug, but they're also they get that bug because somebody told them it's easy to make money doing X, Y, and Z. But then, in a sense, you're a little delusional. Remember, we were taught pretty much, most of us were taught to go to school, make good grades, and get a good job. We weren't taught to go to school, make good grades, and start a business. So they teach us how to buy. And a lot of us are not good consumers. They teach us how to spend our money. How do they teach us how to spend our money? By doing exactly what I'm doing right now. By you seeing commercials. All that good stuff. Yeah. And then when you start and you say, well, I want to start a business, you go into that business aspect with the consumer mindset, thinking like what Steve said, that it's just going to be easy peasy. And it's a lot of ups and downs. Most people don't make it in business because they're not focused. We end up listening to people trying to get somewhere, listening to people who ain't going nowhere. Somebody gonna get that. That might miss somebody. That might miss somebody. I don't know. But we end up trying to listen to some people. We try to listen to some people about, asking the wrong people for information and recommendations and suggestions, right? And you get lost. Yep, that's our ink and our paper. Mike said, "Ain't no joke, nah, man. This is in living color. It's popping, yeah. This is our shirt too, Mike. It's our shirt too. So, guys, if you're just jumping on, do me a favor. If you haven't done so, drop that city in that state. Double tap that screen, like the video, share the video. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube. Hit the bell to be notified when we get new videos coming out. Also, go and like our Facebook business page. Everything's the blank spot. Then we got a Instagram and a TikTok as well. I'm not broadcasting to IG right now, but yeah, yeah. Wicked, what's going on out of Atlanta? That's what's happening. So we're currently broadcasting just outside of Columbia, South Carolina. Today is Frequently Asked Questions Friday. No questions are off limits. I may not answer it, but no questions are off limits. Go ahead and shoot your shot. See if you got a question about our company, about what we do, things like that. You can't see the phone number? My bad. Also, the email address is info@theblankspot.com. 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 Now, if you got any pricing questions, please, let's be professional and email us or call us, okay? I'm the only one in the office right now, so don't call because I'm the only one in the office. But you can call after the live. But if you got any pricing questions, let's be professional, man, and give us a call. One of my biggest pet peeves, besides crafters sharing measurements, I don't know what that's all about. One of my biggest pet peeves is that people call themselves business owners, but a lot of us don't know how to conduct business. Now I know that may sound judgmental, and I'll take that. But we tend to do things differently when it comes to talking to small businesses. You're not going to see the CEO, the COO, or the CFO of Walmart on Facebook. They may make a commercial here and there, but they're not going to be on social media or business media. They're not going to do that. Why? Because you don't have access to them. But just because you see us on here, that don't mean you got access to us either. All right. So if you got a professional question that you want to ask, definitely go ahead and shoot it to us in a professional email. I made a comment the other day, and a lot of people probably didn't get it, and a lot of you may not get it. But we have an epidemic. We have an epidemic in this industry and just in the world in general of people not knowing how to communicate. Have y'all noticed that? I don't know if it's today's society, the way things are working now, or if it's just people in general. I don't know if it's public education because I went to public school too. I know I'm country, but I had to learn how to articulate and enunciate. And I noticed that there is a strong and a huge issue with people being able to write emails. Communication is a skill, absolutely, bro. There's a lot of problems with that. I'm not just talking about pronunciation of words and spelling. I'm not just talking about that, although that helps because we don't want to get an email and then we're trying to decipher what you're asking us to do or asking of us. But even to the point of even to the point of reaching out to someone and introducing yourself. Hello, my name is. The name of my company is. We do X, Y, and Z. I am interested in X, Y, and Z. Can you give me a list or an estimate for X amount of items for whatever, being specific. That's what I said. I said that people nowadays people seem like they need to swallow Chat GPT and just let it do all the work. You need to some people need to swallow Chat GPT and dream AI, let it talk for you, all that. Because I'm noticing that there's a huge communication issue, man. It is. Appreciate it. What's going on, man? How you doing? It's been a minute. It's been a minute. This is the Grenada. These transfers are on our website, theblankspot.com. So we're gonna pause for a minute as I throw up I'm gonna throw up my signs. As I throw up my signs, right? That's what they got the little trend going on right now. Here's my sign right here. Go to the website, theblankspot.com. That's www.theblankspot.com. Remember, there's two S's. Go ahead and check us out. We are a sublimation blanks and t-shirt transfer supplier located just outside of Columbia, South Carolina. So when you order with us, you're going to be getting it shipped from the East Coast. Unfortunately, our business model does not allow you to come in and pick up. Okay. So even if you're down the street, it's got to get shipped. Even if you're around the corner, it has got to get shipped. That's just how it is. So today, what I'm doing is, as frequently asked questions Friday, I'm letting you guys go ahead, shoot your shot. You got a question, ask away. I'll do my best to answer, and I'm going to answer honestly. I am making fans. I am pressing clack fans for an event that we have tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be in Charleston, South Carolina, down by the Naval Yard from 3 to 10 p.m. If you're in the area, come check us out. A business owner should, that's a great question. A business owner should definitely focus on conversion rates, not just on this business media either. Um, Business media is going to help you out, but when you're talking about conversion rate, hopefully you're talking about what you're selling. You definitely should do that because you're gonna want to know what you're selling. You want to know what items are selling the most. What's your best selling items? And then as a business owner, something else you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to make a strong guesstimation. A strong guesstimation as if I want to keep on selling that item that's not selling, I'll go ahead and stock up on the ones that are. I'm making you jealous with the big press. Don't get jealous. If you need some help, we press too. You say it comes from shorthand writing when taking notes in class. Tamara, excuse me, Tamara, I'm sorry, Tamara. I know that I may be older than a lot of people out there, but I also know that that may be one thing, and there may be one or two out of the 10 people. But here's the biggest issue, I think, in my opinion, too. Today's youth is doing this, and you know, all right, I got you. And the communication just ain't there no more. We used to have conversations, right? We used to have to get up and read out loud. And I'm not saying they're not doing it anymore, but you know, it's kind of funny. So Grand Rising, y'all. Thanks for jumping on. Communication is important. If you're gonna reach out, if you're gonna reach out to somebody for some assistance, make sure you cover a couple of the W's. Y'all remember in class when we were writing papers, we had to cover the who, the what, the where, the why, and sometimes the how. Well, I think a lot of the things that we learned in school, people kind of just let go and forgot. A lot of that stuff carries on. I mean, instead of worrying about trigonometry, our communication skills can be worked on. You know, I don't really care about a dangling participle. You know what I'm saying? Having a preposition at the end of a sentence, on to us. I don't care about that. But what you should care about is making sure that when you're communicating with somebody, it's clear and concise, and people understand what you're asking. And a lot of times, that's what's happening. Let me see. Can you use our ink if you've been using another brand? What type of printer do you have? As long as you have an Epson desktop, yes. Our ink is formulated for Epson desktop printers. Our ink is formulated for Epson desktop printers. That's a really good question. Really good. $15,000? Yeah. You good? You're good. So we have our own ink, our own paper. We share with you some amazing heat tape that does not stain. And one of the things that I learned, we attract, going back to what Mike asked, we attract a lot of crafters. there are more crafters out there who are purchasing from us than there are serious business owners. And there's nothing wrong with that. So you probably say, well, why aren't you teaching? Why aren't you doing more X, Y, and Z? Because that's not our business model. However, what we have taken into consideration is that since we know that we are attracting more crafters than we're attracting business owners, then we have to make sure that people kind of understand how to use our products. So when you see us on live, whether you're seeing us on a YouTube video, a Facebook reel, you're seeing us doing what's called demonstrations. Okay? You're seeing demonstrations. And demonstrations are what's going to help you to understand how easy it is and how convenient it is to use our products. Here's the thing. Here's one of the drawbacks to having a crafter's mindset when you are a business owner. One of the drawbacks to having a crafter's mindset when you're a business owner or when you're trying to convert to being a business owner is you still are applying that I can do everything myself concept. Because that's what your favorite crafting instructor taught you. I mean, let's be honest. Isn't that what they're teaching? Am I wrong? Aren't they teaching do it yourself? Because somebody told you, right? We're gonna go into a little business conversation. Somebody told you that if you do it yourself, you save money. Has anybody ever heard that? Type a number 3 in the comments. Type a number 3 in the comments if you've heard I can save money if I do it myself. Where my number 3s at? If you heard I can save money if I do it myself, type a number 3. Don't let me look up and nobody want to talk to me. A couple people want to talk to me. Only one person want to talk to me. 2 people. All right, so I want y'all to understand something. And I cannot convince you. I cannot convince you to think like I think. Nor will I try. That's not my purpose. There are some things that you can do yourself and save money. But if you, number one, have a full-time job and you're doing this on the side. Number 2, you have a family and you're doing this on the side. Number 3, you don't have the equipment and you're doing this on the side. You got to think differently. Because what's about to happen is you're about to waste a lot of time that you really don't have. Because regardless of what anybody wants to think, time is money. And I need you guys to go back to these channels of these people who are sharing this information with you. I want you to go back to these channels that you're watching and ask them these questions when they go live. Because I know they outsource some stuff. You can't get time back. Time is the one thing you can't get back. And everybody starts off, unless you started off as a business owner and you had a large company and you had employees, even a self-employed business starts off with trading time for money. That means that you got a job. Self-employed is a job. Please don't make that mistake. Don't be confused. Being self-employed, you got a job. And the only thing that you can do with time is you can bounce back and you can make more money. You can double up and triple up and quadruple up your resources if you have more time. That means that sometimes I have to outsource. I don't have the equipment that the blank spot has, so I may have to outsource. I don't have the time that the blank spot has. See, the blank spot is not clocking in on somebody else's time clock. We're doing this full time. So your 8 hours a day and my 3 to 4 hours a day ain't gonna be the same time. Somebody gonna miss that. I can get more done in 3 hours here than you can get done all day on your job and coming home, taking care of your family, feeding your kids, putting them to bed, cooking, and cleaning your house. I can do more. I can do more. And the problem is, the problem is, the problem is yeah, because I'm always thinking about my business. The problem is going back to how many groups are you guys, how many crafting groups are y'all following versus how many people in those groups are teaching business. The problem is most of these crafting groups are keeping you there to teach you how to craft. And then they're going to slide you in, they're going to slide in a referral link or an affiliate link if you go and buy that ASUB paper, or if you go and buy that press from Cricut, or if you go and buy that thing from Heat Press Nation. They're going to slide you an affiliate link. I'm keeping it 100. Meanwhile, you said that you wanted to start a business. You said you wanted to start a business, but you're hanging around a lot of people who ain't doing no business. And you ain't got no business hanging around people who ain't doing business if you want to do business. And being in the right types of environments, being in the right types of environments is going to be important. It's going to be important. You know, I was in the military for 22 years. And for the first 6 years, first 4 years, I enjoyed it. I never loved it. When I started deploying, and I started finding myself in situations that I ain't like, I started to feel differently about it. I never loved the military. I loved the ability that the military provided me to take care of my family. And I think that's a difference. There's a difference because it was a job. It's a difference. Everybody don't get that. So, and I'm reading this comment where this person saying, "Hey, I love crafting." Hey, that's cool. That's to each his own. That's great. But remember the part about differentiating. Because you may love crafting and you may be able to separate the crafting and the business side. But there's somebody out there right now that's struggling because they love crafting. And they can't differentiate that crafting is a hobby and business is business. So when somebody comments on our post and say, "Hey, well, what's your measurements for what it is that you're doing?" And I say, "Hey, well, I recommend that you measure yourself." They get salty because they're thinking that I'm gatekeeping. Well, how can I keep a gate when there's more than one measuring tape? It ain't like I got the only measuring tape in Craftonville, so I can't be gatekeeper. What it is that people are not confident, and I know y'all, some of y'all probably gonna not like this word. I've been using this word a lot. I like it. A lot of folks just lazy. A lot of folks just lazy, and a lot of the people that you guys are watching who are teaching you how to do certain things, they're enabling you. Thanks for helping me get to 5. I appreciate it. They're enabling you. They're enabling you to keep you right where you are, because as long as you crafting and you following this person that's got 100,000 followers, 200,000 followers, and they're teaching you how to create digital designs, and they're teaching you how to put boxes and jukeboxes and vending machines and all that crap together. You ain't sold not one, but they teaching you how to do that, and they're selling you that stuff, right? I'm just saying. And as long as you are in that position and they're keeping you there, you're gonna keep on buying their stuff. Spoon feeding them with a short handle spoon. Huh? Okay. 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 Breaking news. Breaking news. I just heard from the boss that she just dropped the sale. Um, so it's 25%, 25% off of all gang sheets. 25% off of all gang sheets. Sublimation gang sheets is all we have. And also 25% off of all fan transfers. No coupon code needed. Go to the website, just like last week. Go to the website, theblankspot.com. That's THEBLANKSSPOT.com. You can see all the information on the front page. 25% off of the gang sheets and 25% off of the fan transfers. If you want to know what the fan transfers look like, that's what they look like. You can get the fan transfers. They're already ready to press. Excuse me. Also, if you want to do your own image, you can do it on a gang sheet. So upload the gang sheet. All right. Oh, yeah, they spoon feeding them, man. And the conversation is one that needs to be had, but it's an uncomfortable conversation because we're talking to crafter minded people who say that they want to become business owners. Don't get mad at me. I'm just saying. And I know somebody out there is gonna say, "Man, I'm gonna unfollow him or them because he hates." Oh man, he telling the truth. It may not be a comfortable truth, but it's a truth. You have to learn how to do your own homework. You got to learn how to do your own research. Information, the purpose for information is to be shared so you can become educated. Once you become, and the way you become educated is you do your due diligence. You do your research. You look things up. You check things out. You see how it can best be used and applied to your situation. And then you can make an informed decision. But what's happening is we're sitting around, we're sitting around and we're waiting for people to tell us stuff. There's nothing wrong with paying for information. Information, some information you going to listen. I want y'all to give me some gifts. I want y'all to go to our website and shop. That's payment for information that I'm sharing right now. And if you don't think the information is good enough to share and you hanging around, then you kind of wasting your time. Talk to me now. Ain't nothing free in this world. You're going to either pay with time, which is a resource, or you're going to pay with money, which is a resource. Ain't nothing free in this world. They told you that you had to go to school, and if you didn't, you were gonna go to detention, reform school, or your parents were gonna go to jail. You feel what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with paying for someone's knowledgeable experience. That's what you're paying for. Information is free. The most expensive lesson is to pay for something that you don't know. That's the most expensive lesson. Another one of my pet peeves to hear somebody say, I don't pay for classes, but you went to college or you were told to go to college. That's a class. I'm telling you, in this arena, in this area, things are looked at differently. Can you go to Google and get the same information? Absolutely. You can go do your own research. You can get the same information. But then when it comes to being able to apply it to your situation, you may need some consultation. And let me ask you guys a question. Would you go to a job, clock in on somebody's job for free? How many left and came back because they needed our products? I'm sure it was a lot of them, Stevie. I stopped counting, man. We got some locals that's doing that right now. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that one alone. But how many of you guys will go to work for free? Contrary to popular belief, and I'm probably one of the realest personalities on these platforms. I don't know how many customers, potential customers that I've run off, how many people I've ticked off. I'm not doing this because I want to. I'm doing this because it's required right now in our business. I'm doing this right now because we don't have an automatic people just gonna come find us. I'm doing this right now because we eat off of this. So I come on live and I share our products. And on Friday, we got to share some of our time. And I intend to get paid. I intend for our little clicker to go. I intend to get orders. That's my expectations. That's what I expect. And if you don't shop with us, I expect you to drop us some gifts. Yeah, I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask for the money. If you have shop with us, fine. Continue to shop with us. We appreciate it. If you just passing by like a drive by and you heard some information you like, but this ain't your flavor, you don't do what we do, drop us some gifts. That keeps the information going and keeps the information flowing. You don't have a problem with dropping gifts or buying something from somebody who's famous. I see it all the time on right here on social media. I see these personalities, these famous personalities come on, and they got tens of thousands of people on their live, and they just dropping them gifts, buying whatever products they got, buying whatever crap they got, but they ain't adding no value to you. They just entertain you. So that lets me know what they know. People just want to get entertained. So I can get on here. I can get on here, get on the top of my heat press and start twerking. That's not my business model. If I got to do that, if I got to make a fool out of myself for you to buy my stuff, then I got the wrong customers. I got the wrong audience. Yeah, I like to have fun. Absolutely. Me and my wife both, we love having fun. But if me having fun means making a fool out of myself so I can get some sales, I'm good. I'm good. We got to do something else. Steve, back in the day, I could dance, bro. Don't try me. Ask my wife. Back in the day, I used to get it. Huh, baby? Don't stop, pop that. Let me stop. I used to get it. But now, man, that's what we're up against. We're up against those things, and people are not understanding why things are going the way that they're going. It's because we got the wrong focus, man. We got the wrong focus. But go back and check out the people that you follow. That's what I want you to do. The people that's teaching you how to craft. And this is not this is not for the crafters right now. This is for the people who are wanting more and wanting to start a business. If you want to start a business, if you want to fly and you hanging around chickens, you ain't gonna never fly. If you want to get to the next level and you hanging around people who comfortable where they at, and that's a problem. I mean, y'all don't think so? Y'all don't think so? Frequently asked questions Friday, man. What's your question? Drop your question. Nothing's off limits. Nothing's off limits. I may not answer, but at least you can ask. Frequently asked questions Friday. Ask us anything. Hopefully, it'll be about what we're doing right now: sublimation, t-shirt transfers, starting an apparel company, inventory. I don't know. If you missed it earlier, someone wanted to know what was the best transfers to get started. The easiest ones are screen print. It's the easiest one to get started. Maybe you are contemplating starting a business, but you don't know what to do to get started. You want to start an apparel company, but you don't know what to do. Shoot them questions. Shoot the shot. Everybody got their own ideas. I would tell you, if you're not good at design, take a design class, but don't let that stop you from selling shirts or selling apparel. You may have to purchase your designs. Nothing wrong with that. But that crafter inside you is saying, well, hey, that's not all my work. That's what the crafter inside you is saying. Don't listen to that, because that's going to stop you from going forward. That's the same thing that the person that's teaching you how to do things is telling you, that you got to do everything yourself. That's not true. It's not true. So once again, guys, thank y'all for jumping on. Frequently asked questions Friday. This is the blank spot. If you have not shopped with us, we do have a sale going on. It was just activated probably about 10 minutes ago. We have a sale on our gang sheets and our fan transfers, 25% off, no minimum requirement, no minimum purchase. The fans are on the front page. You can actually go to the website, scroll down to where it says purchase your fans and your transfers here. You can see our large variety of fan transfers. Also, gang sheets, you can actually see that. If you drop below that section, it'll see upload your transfers here. It'll say fan transfers, but you can actually order your gang sheet. If you have a specific image that you want to have printed, you may want a large format printed image, then we can do that for you. Okay, so check that out. That sale is going to be all weekend long until 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. Gang sheets, 25% off. and fan transfers 25% off. Take advantage of it, man. Take advantage of it. Who on here? Who on here is new to the t-shirt business? Type a number 2 in the comments if you're new to the t-shirt business. Where y'all at? Ladybug. How long you been doing it, Ladybug? How long have you been doing it? How many months? How many years? Type a 2 if you're new to the t-shirt business. Because it's an opportunity to ask questions. About 2 months or 2 years? Two months? Because 2 years is still kind of new. So this is the time to ask questions. All the number 2s that pop up. If you got a question, this is a FAQ, Frequently Asked Questions Friday. I love the way that thing squeaks, man. I love it. Find out what type of items you want to offer. You know, I found out that a lot of people who are new to the t-shirt business, the first thing they want to do is they want to jump in and do custom and personalized work, but they don't have any experience. Custom's not that bad. Personalized is going to be a little bit hard. Once again, I'm not a teacher. I don't teach this, but from a business perspective, I wouldn't recommend to anybody who's brand new to the t-shirt business, trying to do custom, man, right off the bat. And these are kind of hot on. I wouldn't recommend that. I wouldn't. That's a surefire way, in my opinion, to quit. If you want to quit and you brand new, you just get started, go ahead and start trying to offer some customer personalization. It's easier just to get you some transfers, get you some t-shirts, and start offering stuff that people are already looking at. But I want to be unique. You got to grow to that. You have to grow to that. John said you started with vinyl. That's what's up. 6 or 7 years. That's a long time, John. Let me see. I'm new. What's the difference in the heat press? That's $100 and $1,000. The size is the same. Okay, that's a pretty good question, and I'm not going to try to answer it in a tricky manner. But I want to give you something to think about. Thank you, John. Quality. If you're just getting started, and I want y'all to think about this. If you're just getting started, you're brand new. You just started driving. You're brand new. You're going to go out there and get a $60,000 vehicle? If your kids just started driving, talking about they brand new, you're going to go out there and get them a $60,000 vehicle? Or you going to go get them a beater? You're going to go get them a beater, right? I hope y'all saying beater. I hope so. I hope y'all saying beater. Because if you go out there and get them a $60,000 vehicle, knowing that they ain't got no experience, and they tear it up, you're gonna be upset with yourself. You should be. Same thing with that $100 heat press. People are afraid to grow to where they want to go. Listening to folks trying to sell you something on the high end when you got to learn how to press. You got to learn how all that stuff works. Go out there and buy you a beater, something that's reliable, and it may last you for a long time. Go out there and buy you a starter. And if you grow to $1,000 heat press, then grow to $1,000 heat press. But ain't nowhere in the world I'm gonna go out there and drop a couple of grand on the heat press and I'm just getting started. I'm not gonna let my excitement take my money. And that's what they're doing. You know what I mean? Once again, people in these groups and they comparing. See, there are experienced people in some of these crafting groups, and they've been crafting for a long time. Sean, what's going on? Grand Rising. They've been crafting for a long time, and they're giving bad information. They're giving bad information, man, or they're not giving the whole story. And you heard the expression "part truth, whole lie," but they're giving you part truth, and they're telling you, hey, go out there and get you X, Y, and Z, and you'll be all right. Don't go out there and buy it again. But then watch this. 2 weeks later, you done changed your mind and you don't want to do it, but you done spent $2,000 or $1,000 on the press. You haven't even decided if you want to really do it or not. Same thing with big printers. Same thing with printers in general. I'm not gonna even say a big printer. I'm gonna say a printer in general. They told you that you had to buy a printer to get started. You don't need no printer to do t-shirts. All you need is somebody to print for you. Well, I'll save a lot of money if I. No, you won't. No, you won't. What you're gonna do is you're gonna be able to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning because you talked to somebody at 1 o'clock in the morning on Facebook and do their order. That's what having a printer for a beginner is gonna do. That's what a beginner printer gonna do. It gives you accessibility. You don't need all that stuff in the beginning. I'm just saying. You don't even know if you're gonna want to do this or not. You saw somebody on social media doing it, and they told you how easy it was. As a matter of fact, they pressed a couple of shirts in front of you. They made a couple of tumblers in front of you. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate it. And they showed you just how easy it was. But then you already know your personality. You know the type of person that you're dealing with when you wake up in the morning and look at yourself in the mirror. You know who you are. As a matter of fact, that's the first thing I learned in the military. They said, know yourself and seek self-improvement. You know you. You know if you're lazy. You know if you're a go-getter. You know if you're going to stick with it or if you're going to be a quitter. You know that already. But you let somebody convince you that you can do something. And they sold you something. Frequent last questions Friday, man. With a little touch of, with a little sprinkle of education, information, and business. Business is not the place to be a consumer. It's not. Business ownership is not the place to be excited. Because if you're excited before you buy, just like any salesperson, they're going to see you coming. We sell heat presses. We sell heat presses in packages. Remember, we're retail. So the heat press that you got on Marketplace for $100, you're not going to be able to get that $100 heat press from here. But you'll be able to get other items. And when you break it down, your heat press is going to be about $100, $150. Because you're going to get shirts, you're going to get paper, you're going to get starter stuff. However, if you're excited, I'm getting started, I'm excited, somebody's going to buy this and somebody's going to buy that. And you already know who you are. You having problems getting up in the morning when the alarm clock go off to go to your job. You already know that. Outsourcing is needed for new and old. Absolutely. You already know the type of person that you are and the type of personality that you are. And you let somebody sell you a dream because of your circumstances. Your situation and your circumstances are dictating what you're going to do. Your back is up against the wall. I need some extra cash. I need to put some more money in my pocket. I seen somebody started a clothing line. I see somebody doing t-shirts. Oh, I'm going to do that. You ain't got no discipline. Discipline started with that job. Who all wants to stay late? They paying overtime, of course. Who all wants to stay late? Now I'm going home. You ain't got no business. You ain't got no business, but you going home. Some of y'all ain't got no family. Some of y'all got a spouse and ain't got no kids. Some of y'all got no responsibilities outside of going to a job. And they say, you want to work late? But then you say, I'm going to start a business. You know you got to work late, right? You know you're going to have to work late, right? I think we talked about this last week. You know you're gonna you have to late. You have to work late, right? I'm just saying, man. This ain't gonna be a popular. This ain't gonna be a popular conversation. Buy the inexpensive equipment. Buy the inexpensive equipment, and then see if it's something that you think you're gonna want to do. It's gonna be an investment. The best investment that you can ever make is the one that you make in yourself. See if you like it. If you like it, then you can grow to do other things. But if you don't like it, then you didn't spend a lot of money. I know they want the expensive stuff, not the and that 89 Honda is gonna be super reliable and you can work on that sucker. Let me see. John said I had plenty of late nights. Woo, because I've seen many 2 and 3 a.m. mornings. Yeah. Hey, listen, it's levels. It's levels to this as well. It's something else that you guys are gonna learn. We get a lot of this. We get a lot of this. Here's the blank spot. Here's the blank spot. We are suppliers. Okay. We are not vendors. We are suppliers. Can we provide what you need? Absolutely. But we are suppliers and we sell retail. And for a lot of people who are just getting started, they're not financially in the position to purchase from vendors, directly from vendors, nor do they have the access or the knowledge to do it. So that's why retailers are here. Feel me? Walmart is a retailer. You wouldn't go to Walmart and ask them, do they sell in wholesale or bulk, would you? Would you go to Walmart and ask them if they gonna how much? I see one T-shirt is $5. How much for 10? Would you go to Walmart and do that? Anybody? I'm losing ground. Nobody's listening. I lost y'all. Wow. That's all it took. That's all it took. So when you're new to business, you don't have vendors. You're dealing with suppliers. And as you grow in your business, you should expect to find you an opportunity, a way to purchase more items for a lower cost, which means that you're gonna probably have to find you some vendors. That means you're graduating, you get to next levels, right? Somebody said, well, what's the difference between a vendor and a supplier? A vendor is more direct. They're not a manufacturer, but they're more direct. Most vendors are going to give you a minimum quantity, a minimum order quantity, MOQ. They're going to give you a minimum quantity. You got to meet that minimum quantity. If you don't meet that minimum quantity, you can't buy. They're going to give it to you at a lower cost. But as also when you're ready to buy from a vendor, you're also ready to accept the responsibility that when they ship that item to you, it may or may not get there 100%. So you're accepting the risk and the responsibility that the item that you get, you may lose. I guess what I'm saying is a lot of people who are new to business and a lot of old heads too don't know the difference between suppliers and vendors. And they put all that stuff together. They mash it all up together. And they just don't understand that if we got a vendor and we're getting it for a certain price, well, why we can't offer you that certain price? Because we accepted the risk. Used to come in and make dinner and sit down and make a jersey to 2 or 3 a.m. Back to work at 8. That's the life of a self-employed slash uh, full-time employee, you know. But this, that's one of the things, man. A lot of the people who are new, and when I say new, you may have been crafting for a long time, but you may have just started operating as a business. And a lot of y'all don't understand that there's a difference between being a vendor and being a supplier. And the prices are different, the quantities are different, all that stuff. So if you guys are looking for better prices, if you're looking for better prices, that's out of any situation, then it's best that you go and find a vendor. So you love what you did, but you just didn't turn a good profit, so you quit. You may want to take a look at your numbers. When you're not, so if you've been doing something for a while, and that's a pretty good, that's a pretty good and very transparent statement. How many people you think are not making a good profit? Before you can say you're not making a good profit, you got to ask yourself what type of percentage you should be getting. Not saying you, but most people when they think about profit, they think about dollars. They don't think about percentages. And they don't understand how to come up with cost analysis. I'm gonna say no because I don't even know what that is. So I'm gonna say no, we don't have that. But you're more than welcome to go to our website to see if something suits your needs. A lot of people don't make money or make a profit because they're not pricing their items correctly. Nah, we don't have that. That's something new. You just taught me something. A lot of people are not making the money that they want to make because they're not pricing their items correctly. And a lot of people are not pricing their items correctly because they still had a crafty mindset. Unfortunately, but it's true. You're pricing your items based off of what you would want to pay instead of based off the going rate or instead of based off of what you pay for your items. It's a lot of people. Watch this. And I'm gonna say this, and this is probably gonna ruffle a couple of feathers. There's a lot of people that's making shirts and they want to make high quality shirts, high end quality shirts. And the shirts are gonna cost them $5, maybe $7 a shirt. But they still trying to charge $20, $25. Can't do that, man. while at the same time, a lot of people are confusing sales with profit. And that's some of the things that you're not learning, unfortunately, in some of these classes, some of these groups that y'all are in. You're not understanding what's classified as bulk. For us, bulk is 200. Some people will tell you that it's 50 or more. For some of our vendors, it's 50 or more. But it depends on who you're dealing with. Because a lot of companies like us that are selling retail have the ability to offer bulk pricing. However, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. I want a return customer, right? We want return customers. So we don't want Susie May to come to us and say, hey, I want to buy 20 shirts. Can I get a discount? And then we give you a nice little discount and you go back and resell those shirts and you make a larger profit to where you're starting to hurt our business. Just keeping it 100. So people who sell or offer in bulk are people who can kind of control that product. One of the products that we can definitely control is our sublimation because that's our main thing. We have our own paper, we have our own ink. We can do the transfers if we decide to do them. If someone were to connect with us and say, hey, I need X, Y, Z, how much can you charge me? What's the best price you can charge me? Right? We can control that. But the problem with bulk purchasing is not the person that's asking for bulk, it's the person that's providing it that doesn't have the ability to provide it. I want that to sink in. Because they're looking at how much they paid. So I'm going to run you an example. Y'all ready? Let's say we go to a vendor. Let's say we go to one of our vendors and we make a purchase, one item for $1, right? We make a purchase. We purchase an item for one item is $1, and we purchase 100 of them. We just spent $100 plus shipping. Let's say we spent $150, $1.50 a piece to get 100 items. The average person that doesn't understand how business works, they're gonna flip that, and they're gonna go back and sell that item for $3. They're gonna double their money. That's not retail. And those are the people who are offering you bulk. They're buying something for $1, $1.50, and they're selling it to you for $3. They got just enough money. You would think that they got enough money to go back and buy it too, but they don't. Because they got other overhead. And they got just enough money to go back and buy some more. And pretty soon they're going to be out of business. If you want to get the best prices, you got to go find yourself some vendors. You got to. Should they sell it for $6? Go ahead, go and do your research. Retail is usually 4 or 5 times. Retail is usually 4 or 5 times markup. I missed that question. What's the best price to sell? Once again, it's you're looking for. I think you're looking for a one size fits all. For the person that asks, what's the best price to sell? You can't look at it like that. You got to break down your price and your cost of your items. It costs me this much for a T-shirt. It costs me this much for a transfer. It costs me this much for a polymer. It costs me this much for one of these little thank you cards. It cost me it took me this long to do it, and I broke down my time and how much I'm gonna charge per hour of my time. You got to break that thing down, and if you don't break that thing down, then you're gonna always think that you charging too much, but you really most times you're charging not enough. So just like this, right? How many people? How many people? How many people are still selling $25 t-shirts? But you buying your shirts at retail. You buying your shirts at retail, and you selling your shirts for $25 because you don't want to not get that sale. You worried about if I go up on my prices and I won't get my sale. But let's look at how much that $25 shirt costs you. On the surface, it looked like it cost you $7, $8 to make. But in all actuality, the time that you're putting into it, the electricity, the transfers, the stuff that you had to outsource, and some of y'all don't have websites, so that means that y'all are shipping for free, or y'all got what do you call that? What type of shipping is that? Y'all do a flat rate shipping. That's eating into your profit. It's eating into your profit. But then you're gonna go back and you're gonna go right back to that crafting group that ain't talking about pricing. You're gonna go right back to the crafting group that ain't talking about pricing, and you're gonna go back and you're gonna make some stuff to sell some more stuff. I'm just saying, man, don't get mad at me. Because you're pricing things based off of you're pricing things based off of what you think people are gonna want to pay for versus what it's actually valued at. If you've been doing this for 5, 6, 7 years and you've gotten good at it, then people are gonna pay for your experience. If you've been doing this that long, then you know you're gonna be talking about, hey, listen, I know y'all want custom shirts, but I got a minimum requirement of 5. You're gonna put some you're gonna put some you're gonna add some standards to your business because you know that your time is valuable. You know how much it costs to make one shirt? If it's too expensive, then they won't buy it, right? That's what you're thinking? Babe, how much was the Beyonce tickets? Y'all know how much the Beyonce tickets was or is? I think my wife said they started at about $1,000, then they started going down. People buy what they want. They're gonna pay for what they want. It costs too much to make one shirt. It costs a lot, man. And that's why it's not time for some of y'all to start a business. That's why it's time for y'all to keep on crafting until you change your mentality and understand what being a business owner means. Not everyone is your customer, and that's okay. Absolutely. The problem is you have allowed, what's those little sticky things that when you're walking through like the field and those little sticky things like the briars. Y'all know what the briars are? Anybody from the country? Y'all ever picked blueberries, blackberries, or red or wild berries? Anybody? Them little sticky things, the briars when you walking through, right? And they kind of cuckabuzz, cuckabuzz, and they stick to your pants and stuff. That what y'all done allowed them people, the ones that's your customers right now. That's what you allowed to attach to you. That's what the problem is. Y'all then allowed them cuckabugs to attach to you, and you trying to hold on to them instead of pulling them off or flicking them off. Them ain't your customers. I mean, but you know what? I don't know nothing. Y'all call them tag along. We call them cuckabugs. I'm from the country though, but I don't know anything. I don't know anything. I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. You keep on holding on to them people that don't want to pay your value and what you're worth. You've grown to a place, but you still staying in one spot because you're afraid of what they're afraid of. You're afraid that you're gonna lose them as a customer, and they're afraid if you get too big, they won't be able to call you at 2 o'clock in the morning. Why can't both be true? Both can be true. They may lose you. You may lose them as a customer, and they shouldn't be able to contact you at 2 o'clock in the morning right now. Don't get mad at me. This is a long video, man. I didn't mean to be on here this long. Um, I need y'all to go ahead and go to the website and buy something. I don't care what y'all buy. Buy something. Thanks for the gift, Steve. I appreciate it. Thanks for the gift, Latrice. I appreciate it. If you got some value out of this, and you're on TikTok, go ahead and hit me one of them gifts. Send me something. Send me something, y'all. Or go to the website. The website is theblankspot.com. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, you see this, go ahead and drop me a couple of gifts, man. I'm just saying, we got to change the way we think about what we do. We cannot be afraid to ask for the money. If you go to a job where you clock in and you do the work, you expect to get paid. What is the difference from doing this from your house and being self-employed? Steve, you always hook a brother up or a brother and a sister up. There's nothing wrong with asking for the money. There's nothing wrong with increasing your prices if you've increased your talent and your skill set. The people that started with you or the people that started being your customers may not be your customers in the end because you may have started here and their expectations were low. And as you begin to dive into your creativity and grow to where you want to go, you raising your prices, your expectations are higher for yourself, and you expect to find customers that are gonna pay for what you're doing. You feel me? I can't say that part enough, man. Stop holding on to crap. Just let it go. Push it out. Exhale. Somebody gonna get me in a minute. Cause it ain't for you. That can be family, that could be friends, that could be acquaintances. Start building with people that don't know you. Because I promise you, I guarantee you, the people that don't feel comfortable with you, they're going to do business with you. I didn't say support you. They're going to do business with you because they're going to see you in a different light. The people that grew up with you, that grew with you as your business grew, a lot of them not going to respect you. That's just how it is. It's human nature. Not everybody, but a lot of body. And when you start seeing that happening, you got to dump them cuckabugs off. You got to pluck them off. Anyway, thank y'all for jumping on, man. Y'all have helped me get through a lot of stuff over here. I got a couple more to do. And like I always say, man, when you know better, that's when you have the ability to do better. The only knowledge that's powerful is properly applied knowledge. We are the Blank Spot. We are a sublimation blanks and t-shirt transfer supplier located just outside of Columbia, South Carolina. We have a sale right now on our sublimation gang sheets, 25% off, and our sublimation fan transfers, 25% off. Go and check them out. That sale is going to last till 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. We got other things as well. Screen print transfers, both single and full color, rhinestone transfers, and chenille patches. We got sublimation shirts, cups, all types of drinkware, bags, back to school, teacher stuff, all that good stuff. Thank y'all for jumping on. I'll see everybody at the top because there's too many people struggling at the bottom. Peace.